Naito sits in his study, writing several letters before stamping each with a wax seal. The imprint of a butterfly glistens in the red wax. He's deep in thought, his normally beaming smile replaced with a furrowed brow. He taps his quill anxiously, splattering a bit of ink on his kimono. He doesn't seem to notice, though, even as a servant comes by offering tea. She has to call out to him several times before he jolts from his hyper-focus. The smile returns as he thanks her and asks her to pass a message to the kitchen. He won't be around for dinner. Our party is not far, only a 10 to 15 minute walk south of the Tau Manor at Kites. After requesting Kite look into acquiring some cold iron coffins and headwear, and meeting with Marcy's parents about a possible rat-folk assassin targeting the noble families, everyone but Diego prepares to head to the Arcane Assembly. Here, Renastiere is to meet with Irdel, luminary and head of the Assembly, due to the need of his order's expertise. We cut to them making their way to Ward 6 in the Great Assembly Hall. It takes you about 2.5 hours to get to Ward 6. If you don't remember, think of Ward 2 through 5 as like a circle around Ward 7 and 8, and Ward 6 is kind of in the top left corner added on. The only ward connecting to it is Ward 5. It's kind of off by itself. Takes you maybe 15, 20 more minutes to get to the Great Assembly Hall. Several steps lead up to a plateau, slightly elevated, not nearly as high as Ward 7. But there is a sprawling courtyard with a central fountain that leads to an immense cylindrical tower made of smooth, dark scones.
Your parents.
Stone. Your parents built this building out of scones, stretching several hundred feet into the air. A blue arrow pointing towards the sky is painted and carved onto the side of the tower above its main entrance. Most of you would know this as the symbol of the Arcane Assembly. Two smaller cylindrical stone buildings are connected to the tower on the southeast and southwest sides of it. They reach a third as tall as the main tower. The southeast building has the words Public Library written in gold lettering above its entrance, and the southwest building has the words Enchanting Services written in gold lettering above its entrance. Several scholarly types can be seen coming and going from the various buildings, and you would know you guys are headed, Aimon, you would know you need to go to the main hall to get
Find
to Irdel.
Yeah.
Yep. So there is a lavish reception area, leads to a wide wooden desk. A single dwarven woman sits behind the desk, very tan skin, clean shaven, graying black hair neatly kept in a bun. She has a singular dangling red ruby earring on her left ear. Behind her, several scholars monitor a wall plastered with stone plaques, each covered in distinct magical sigils. There are 4 doors, 2 on each side of the plaque-covered wall. Aimon, you know that these 4 doors lead to teleportation circles that, depending on which the scholars pick, will send you to a certain workshop within the Great Tower. And yeah, she sees you guys approach. You would know this woman's name is Minami.
Minami?
You would have interacted with her before.
Tinier Irdel?
Yeah. But yeah, she sees you. Specifically you, Aimon. She like waves to you as she sees you enter. She's never done this before.
Minimi, hi.
Hello. You are Aimon, correct?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I've been around in a minute.
Irdel, he was asking to see of you. You're not in trouble or anything. I can ask if you're good to go up whenever you have the time to. He's a very busy man, but I think he likes to extend the invitation. Elves are quite rare. So those with the elven blood, I think he likes to make the connection to.
We are actually here to see him anyway.
Yes.
She gives you, Renastiere, a once-over, and she goes, Renastiere?
Yes.
I was warned of your... Well, not warned. That sounds
You
bad.
should have been warned, and I beat her.
I was told of your... Would be arriving in the next few days by Irdel. Let me... you are all together?
Yes.
What a coincidence. Are you a member?
No, I'm just an associate.
All right. Wonderful.
He's a friend of... what's the name of the...
Dill?
Dill, yes.
Dill Bilbus.
He's a friend of Dill Bilbus, have you heard? He works down in Koi.
She like closes her eyes, like clearly thinking very hard. Yes,
Very well respected. apparently.
Arcane Assembly in Koi.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's him.
Arcane Assembly Hong Koi. Yes. Give me 1 second. And she kind of pinches your earring. And there's just like maybe 20 seconds of silence. And then she looks back to you guys. He says, he is ready to receive your company whenever you are.
Thank you.
Have you seen or heard of a student named Shinta? Is she around today at all?
Shinta would not be here. You would be aware that she would never be here. She's at the college, which is a different place.
Yeah, I just figured with her, the lady at the desk, knowing a lot of things or having records, perhaps, if she knew if like school was in session today. I don't know how the weekend system works.
Yeah, school is in session.
Kind of thing. If it's
today.
a Saturday or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
she wouldn't be here, but like presumably if school's in session, she'd be there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But yeah, she motions for you to go into one of the doors. It's just a pretty basic teleportation circle on the floor, and they put in a sequence, and you are whisked away.
Have I ever?
Yeah, this is how you get to Pragus'
But if I ever
study.
been to
Teleportation.
Irdel's place
No,
before?
no,
That's
no,
what I
no.
figured.
Yeah.
I know of
Can ponder
Irdel.
what
We
might
don't,
happen.
we don't know each other.
What?
So we're teleporting, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you land on a very similar platform.
I
There's
vomit.
just a door in front of you. Okay, yeah. You throw
There's a
up.
vomit bucket right in front with a little sign.
We should carry those if we know we're going to teleport, just to like a bag or something.
Well, he's doing it out of spite. He actually isn't sick.
Actually, no, I think this might be a medical issue.
Oh, no.
I'm like looking like green.
But yeah, you come to the...
Did your fern change that color?
There's just a door in front of you. I assume you go through it.
Yeah.
after you
Eamon gets
teleport.
very embarrassed. Like, oh, God.
There's a bunch of unseen servants just like sweeping vomit up.
Honestly?
Yep, correct.
You hear like a ethereal voice be like, "God damn it!"
Yeah, they're unseen, not unheard.
I would go knock on the door. Is
yeah.
it closed? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would hear a voice, come in.
I look at my friends as if to say, this is technically my boss. Be good.
But yeah, opens up into an expansive 2-story study with a curved roof, red cushioned couches and chairs fill the lower floor, as well as a kitchen and a sauna. And the second floor is a balcony overlooking much of the bottom floor. You can make out several bookshelves and desks up there. A tall elf, golden French braided hair down his back, copper metallic skin tone, sharp bulging golden eyes, several shimmering freckles dotting his face, sits in a love seat sipping tea from a porcelain cup. I'm kind of imagining come Diego because it's a really good tea. Elegant, semi-luminescent golden tattoos cover his face. He wears a flowy white and blue robe. A single golden band circlet adorns his head. He looks to all of you as you come in and pass you to the vomit. He kind of just like makes note of it as it's being cleaned up. And he just motions for you to sit. He says, welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
Hi.
Aimon.
Hello.
What's your last name?
I will give him a
Talaris?
bow. Talaris, yes.
This is Aimon Talaris, I assume?
Yes. Irdel, obviously.
Yes. Renastiere?
Correct.
Looks to you. And you are my
Peter.
friend? Pleasure to meet you.
Sorry, our friend Peter gets a little sick when
Oh, it's fine.
moving around by magical means.
No worries. I was not expecting you two to be
I am from the
compatriots.
Order of Icar.
Yes, I'm aware. I just did not expect you to.
I met him some months back, and we've been working together
Ah.
in and out. Yes.
So that's good. 2 birds, 1 stone, as they say.
Yes, I heard you sent
So the threat.
from me.
Yeah, I was just wondering, where are you from? What is your life story? What is going on? You've done work for Pragus.
Yes.
I've read some of his works on the spiritual and physical decomposition process of numerous creatures. What
Yeah.
do you help him with that? I would assume.
I have, yes. And then a lot of the stuff he gives me is just the job's been a little slow recently, so I've just been able to use your vast library and study what I like, which has been wonderful.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe
I would love to grab tea with you sometime, just
Yes.
you and I, and we could talk about life stories.
That is true. We have matters to attend to.
I don't want to make
He's
my
a
friend
he's a
Renastiere
sun elf,
wait.
correct?
100%, yeah. Full-blooded sun elf.
Put on sunglasses.
Quite bright.
So shiny.
But yeah, he turns to you. He says, just to inform you, I know much of your order and their conditions and such. Me and Larik are old friends. So
Certainly.
no need to mince words when what we're talking about. How much Has he told you? Not much, I assume?
No, it was a very brief message.
So the Arcane College.
I would take a seat if he's still sitting down.
Yeah, everyone can take a seat, I would assume.
Yeah.
You should just stand there. That'd be kind of funny.
The
Power move.
The unseen servants are rubbing his face in the vomit. Have him learn.
No.
He says there is a student in a coma at the college. I believe it has something to do with your group's expertise. 2 bite marks. I went to look
I see.
myself on the neck. I've never quite seen the state that he is in. It's quite odd. Almost suspended
Me.
Yes, sorry, the T is but my tongue. Suspended animation. I am always hesitant to involve the Kari, but do not trust them at all. So I figured I'd reach out to Lark first.
Are you familiar with the animation? Vetalarana. That's the best we're gonna get.
Yeah. No.
I'll be in my trailer. There are a family of vampires, ancient vampires. We have dealt with a very similar case very recently. They are able to...
Here? He
In
cut
town.
you off like word?
Not the Arcane Assembly,
But in Wakuzana.
correct.
Hmm.
They will have hosts scattered about. Should something happen, they are able to gain control over their victims.
I mean, if you want to give him like the full rundown, you can.
I would
you
tell
don't
him
have
everything
to
that
go
we-
through
yeah, yeah.
everything. Yeah, he would just take it all, and he says, "You took care of this, Vetalarana, or no?"
That is what we are currently dealing with. The way you'd be able to know if it has been dealt with is if the victim woke up. We have the other victim under lock and key, if you'll say, we could say, but
I would just like to confirm there is currently no danger to that student
potentially,
that we can aware of, other than the possession.
depending on
Should
what,
we move
I would
him?
have them secured.
If you need to, I can make sure they won't move.
All right.
But it's
Please don't kill the student.
in a humane
man.
way, of course. But if you can make it so that if this student were to awake, it most likely will not be the student themselves that is inhibiting the body.
Unless the Vetalarana is taken care of.
Correct. Or if it's, perceivably lets go of its control. But I don't know that I
Yeah,
see
you would be
that
aware
happen.
that is not.
That's
like
not
they
how it works.
can't just decide once they're in a coma.
Gotcha.
Vetalarana dies, or they never wake up.
So the I can't say this. Simulacrum.
The Vetalarana.
Vetalarana can't itself let go of control. Like it's just stuck like that.
I mean, I guess conceivably, but
Yeah,
like it
that's
does.
what I was-
It has
that's what I was saying.
essentially no reason to
Yeah.
ever. There's no downside to
Unless-
just keeping it.
Unless there is for some reason this Vetalarana lets go of its control. But okay, don't patronize me. I beat up the elf now. Ideally, it's is the only real way to secure the safety of this student.
Understood. He is currently just in the infirmary of
I would remove
the
him
college.
from
So
others.
yes,
Do you know any how long has he been in this state? Or they?
I do not remember exactly. He kind of like looks through a bunch of books by him, bookkeeping stuff, and he says, "I believe." What is her name? Yoshiko Tamaki. She is the nurse. She is taking care of him, even though he does not need much taking care of. She would know exactly when he came in.
I would also recommend, this is still an ongoing case, if your students are to move around in the evening, to be accompanied by anyone who is studying religious magic of any kind. But even still, they should be discouraged from wandering about in those hours. And stormy weather as well. they can move about during that time period.
Does the college have housing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you would know that there's the main college campus, and pretty much many of the blocks of residential blocks around the college campus are student housing.
Okay.
So most people that go to the college live like right next to it.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
He just says, well, I warned Yoshiko that someone might be stopping by whenever. As far as payment, I was thinking 4,000 gold lump sum. I'll give you, I'm not sure, let's say 200 gold for expenses on top of that right now, in case you need anything.
To get rid of the vampire?
Yes. I don't know if you all be.
Yes, they will be.
Yes.
Different various reasons. Another thing I would posture your way is if you have any access to cold iron of any kind.
Yeah, I mean, you would have told him that that's a weakness.
Okay,
Yeah. Yes, I don't know how conceivable it is to give everyone that level of protection.
Certainly. Mainly
but-
the most gifted and powerful. Obviously, you probably have some safeguards of your own for such things, but if you have
The
any
circlet is cold.
if you have any particular students who are talented or strong-willed, those might be a favorable target.
Actually, if you have a room that you can line in cold iron, that would actually prevent the possession at all.
The student.
Yeah.
We could. I don't know how quickly we can get that worked up, but I'll get someone on it.
For full transparency, this is not the only issue we have come to approach you about. There is a uncertain if this is at all involved with the vampire situation. Seems unlikely, but I'm not ruling it out. There is currently a assassin that is a gnome assassin who is gunning to take down someone of importance here in Wakuzana. They're a very high-skilled professional.
When you say someone of importance, do you mean someone like me?
Yes, you or one of the heads, whether the
One of the
cartels,
heads,
the
nobles.
People in the council, perhaps.
Okay. Have you told the others?
We're making our way through the list.
Gotcha. That is troubling.
This is the type of assassin that I cannot give you very specific details outside of their race due to the fact that they are that skilled.
They're the type that are taking this because it's difficult to do.
Understood. So you will warn the rest yourselves. All you need from me is to do what I will with that information, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
and
for
keep
me.
yourself safe, of course.
Understood.
But we've been in the company of some strange bedfellows recently with quite a few things going on in the town. Seems even for a bustling city like this, there is a lot of moving parts as of right now. There's a very distinct possibility they have nothing in correlation to each other, but we're not ruling out the possibility. Ostensibly, this assassin could even be the vampire, but we don't have much information to state that is the case.
Okay.
During this time, I would be trying to look like I'm not paying much attention. Like I'm just looking around the room, aka not involved in the business of assassins and things like that.
Okay.
Just to like come off like, yeah, I was a friend of Renastiere's, but not like paying attention to give off the vibe of like, I'm working on this too, trying to catch an assassin and fight
for sure.
vampires.
Yeah.
Like
No role. He wouldn't really be super.
just looking around the room.
Yeah, involved in that. So yeah, you can just give off that air easily.
With those two things in mind, I would just ask if you can rethink of anything within the past week or two that stood out as out of the ordinary. Maybe someone reported something to you of any kind.
Other than the business at the college, nothing comes to mind. My only thought is, I think I am safe. Up here, I'm quite well guarded. If you say he is going after someone for the sport of the kill, I'm of two minds of it. It is either the harder the target, the more likely they are the case, or it is the prestige of the kill in itself and not the difficulty of it, and he would go after the easiest target of the highest prestige, so to speak, in which case it would be probably one of the three main noble families because they have the most interaction with just the outside world, so to speak, out of their circles from day to day. Or the head of the Merchants Guild. Obviously, she has her hands in many pots. But that is just my own hypothesizing.
Are you aware of any upcoming celebrations or gatherings that this assassin could take advantage of? I guess I can't necessarily rule out that they are only after one person.
Yes, the Water Lily Ball is happening. I don't know exactly in the coming weeks. It's a mark of the end of winter as the flowers bloom in the harbor. So
I'm not confident that will be when they strike, but it seems like a proper opportunity to do so.
if they wanted attention, that would probably be the place. Everyone who's important to the city in some way would be there. But I'm not sure if it is as they say. They are simply after the prestige of the kill.
It could be thrill-seeking. It could be to potentially cripple Wakuzana as we know it. But that is why this is
I'll ask around.
equal playing field here as the vampire situation, and possibly could be connected. But outside of that, do you have anything else you think could aid us in this, in either an investigation?
Not that I'm aware of. If I need to get in contact with you, he says.
You can send it through Kite.
He would not know who that is, but you can just give him the information of like where he lives and who he is, and
Tell him about him.
Sounds good.
If you'd also humor me with a personal question, if you're busy, I understand, but
Go
this is
for it.
more of a personal curiosity. We were recently in a very small town of Koi. We ran into a couple of...
Just you, not me.
Oh.
Well, he says we.
I'm
it could
also
be-
here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it could be-
Yeah,
So I hear we, and I'm
me
like,
and my companions
my head
ran
snaps
into
back.
a couple of sun elves. I'd lived in Wakuzana previously. I'd not come into contact with very many. I know,
Full-blooded?
as far as I could tell, I didn't have the chance to ask, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you know for sure they were not. They were half-elves.
No, they were...
It's the bug eyes.
Are you talking about the
Two bandits,
bandits?
yeah.
They are absolutely half-elves.
They were half.
Yeah.
I'm more so curious. I've never come across anyone else of your people. Where do you come from?
Well, like most of my kind, we are reclusive by nature. I lived far away from here. And by being so reclusive, you inevitably stifle your own knowledge and magical growth. And once I hit that point with my people, I decided to leave. It's also why I started the Arcane Assembly, to further the world's magical knowledge in really every aspect, whether you are a caster of spells or a researcher of dead things like Prekis. Where exactly I am from, I cannot tell you. I disagree with their beliefs, but I know better than to out my people. But
I mainly ask because I had also in my travels come across a group of Jadoon elves, and was curious about the cultural differences, but it sounds like there is some similarities there.
yes, I believe they are wood elves.
Yes.
Sun elves are connected to arcane magic, where wood elves retain their primal connection.
Makes sense.
Primal magic connection, normally tied into their immediate surroundings. Where I am just tied to arcane magic as a whole, as many sun elves are. So that would be the main difference. Culturally, I cannot speak on it. I've never been there, but I assume they are as reclusive as we are. So if you had the chance to interact with them, that is quite the chance.
You'd be correct in assuming so. But thank you for indulging my curiosities.
Yeah, of course.
Either of you two have anything else?
I mean, if you two head down to the infirmary, if you're going to ask more questions, feel free. I'd take that cup of tea now.
Of course.
Just as we're walking out, if someone would be looking to get into magic, are there any books you would recommend?
Yeah, he can give you a list for sure.
Okay.
He would clarify what kind. What
Arcane.
Arcane, yeah. He would give you a list.
Wizardry
I'm not
for
going to
dummies.
literally give you names a bunch of books, but
Magic
yeah.
for morons.
Yeah, he would give you a list.
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys. So
Yeah, me and
Peter Renastiere
Pete,
leave.
yeah.
Where you guys headed?
Infirmary. How
So
long
over
has
to
passed?
the college.
Oh,
So the college is not in the Arcane Assembly. You are going to a different part of Ward 5. Going to the college and then back to Kites would be like right on the line of what you could probably do while making it back before dusk.
So we could go to the infirmary, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, as long as you're not like there for a long time.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
Then we-
because if you go to the infirmary and like, I don't know, find a clue that leads to somewhere else, if you continue to investigate, you probably won't make it back in time. Granted, Naito can just wait, presumably. That's why Diego's there to stall him. But yeah, that's where you're at time-wise. It's about 20, 30 minutes away where you're headed to.
Do you
the
want
college.
to go to the infirmary or you want to wait till everyone's together?
I think we should. I'm assuming we are, depending on how things go tonight, bringing
Oh, he'd
up.
give you the 200 gold before you left
Oh, okay.
for any expenses during the looking into things.
325. Well, divvy it up. Well, we'll just divvy up now, just so I don't have to have it in my.
Well, it is for expenses for the mission. It's technically not payment. So you don't have to divvy it up if you don't want to. You are the vampire expert.
Yeah, but I also need my alchemist to be prepped.
Okay, for sure.
And your oracle.
What do you got to buy? New pants?
Start bullying him. Are you giving everyone 50 gold?
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
biggest slam
Everyone
anyone's
can
gone
just
through.
everyone can just add 50 gold then.
Well, it's not like you got to buy your magic.
You don't know that?
Are you giving me 50 gold?
Are you giving me 50 gold?
Yeah. Buy
Obviously, you don't
buy
have it
yourself
yet, but you'll-
a cold
you'll have
iron
it.
tent. It's just Renastiere's roast session.
Surprised you didn't start with me.
What did you ask me?
Said, are we going to the
Oh,
infirmary
yeah.
or wait until we get everyone
Yes,
together?
perceivably we may be bringing up this situation tonight, though, depending on how things go tonight with him. I don't know what side of things he's on. It doesn't seem, at very face value, he is malicious, but I can't rule anything out, of course.
Because we're also leaving Aimon alone to walk back then.
I think he knows that we're going to the infirmary. I doubt he'll be that long. We can meet on the way.
All right.
But I don't think we should leave a stone unturned, especially if they have an unsecured vessel.
That's fair. God, I really need to learn how to get rid of that glue.
Anything specific you would like to talk about with Irdel? Do you want to?
I was hoping to play through a conversation.
Yes, that's
If we
basically what I was
could.
covering.
But
I was
gonna
just
say,
getting a vibe check of whether you
Yeah.
want to do that or if it was more just like a flavor thing of like, yeah, I tell him all
with this
stuff.
character, I definitely
Yeah,
like to do
for
it
sure.
more, but
yeah, I just want to clarify
Yeah.
before I like roped you into that, and you were like, "Oh, I don't. We're good." I just tell. Him
I don't
everything.
want to get to know you.
Yeah. So as you guys head to the college, Diego, good sir,
Yes.
are you? You would probably just like get a room to work on all this stuff, like in the place, or are you just doing it in the?
Oh, I was just
like,
in
main
the
hall?
yeah, in the
Okay, yeah.
lobby or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
He made a giant
Yeah.
sigil in the foyer.
Yeah. Just draw a giant like yeah. But yeah, Anzai is coming through and he says, Diego, right? Sorry, are you in the middle of something?
Yes. What?
You're Diego, right? We met earlier. Anzai, we met earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you know the other three?
Well, we met here actually.
Like here, like at Kites?
Yes, literally in this room.
Oh.
So we had mutual interests, and I heard from the boorish strong man that I should look for these fine people.
Oh, Raiji?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I kind of motion around and realize everybody left already.
Yeah. They've been gone for hours.
There's handmade cutouts of each of us.
Yeah, he says, "Do you?" I don't mean to pry or be rude, but what common interests? You all seem like pretty different folks.
Oh, yes, that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
it?
guess that's true. Yeah.
We're all searching for answers, in the grand scheme of things. Do you mind? I'm trying to commune with my cape.
My apologies. He walks off. He just goes off.
Ta-ta, catch you later.
Yeah.
God, there's so much deflection just in that conversation.
Yeah, and we go back to Irdel and Aimon. So yeah, an unseen servant brings tea. It's very good tea. He says, "Yeah."
Thank you.
So
I would pull out like a red pipe, like the shape of a little flower.
Okay, yeah.
Do you mind if I?
Go for it.
Thank you. Does it look cloudy at all outside? If he has windows.
It's getting there. You can now clearly see. This is clearly the top of the tower.
Yeah, so I figured from this height, you can
And
probably
you
see
can't
something.
see out, except if he saw you looking out, he would like snap his fingers, and part of it would become see-through.
Okay.
And you can see out. It does look like a storm is coming in. As you guys are out now, the wind is picking up a little bit. There's a bit more of a chill in the air. It's still a couple hours away for sure, but like it's now visibly coming. But yeah.
Okay. I would just light a match and do that.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
so you wanted to ask me some questions?
Yes.
Get to know me a bit?
More so, just where are you from? Not, as I said, as I explained, I know that our people are not. If you have things you cannot tell me, that is okay. But I'm sure you are avidly aware, being both half drow and half human, probably not fitting in really anywhere that is not a common occurrence
Yeah.
with our people, more so than other half elves.
Well, I'm from the Anarchic Expanse, actually. So quite
That
a long
makes
ways
a lot
from
of
home.
sense.
My father, though, he was from, what's it called? Out of game, I don't remember either. The name of, like the drow home.
That's a great question. Did I ever give
That has never come up in game at all.
Yeah.
So I don't quite remember the name.
I don't know if I have one.
Oh, that's okay.
He also might not have told you, only because
But I feel like just in studies, that might be a common place that people would know about. Unless it's
so
as
you,
secretive as
you
the
you would
other
probably
ones.
know where the jar are located. You wouldn't like in the general area.
Is that fairly secretive?
Yeah,
in the
you
same
probably
way the
wouldn't
other
know
ones
like
are?
the name of the cities or like exactly
Yeah,
where they are.
that makes sense.
Essentially, there is a long stretch of most of the Anarchic Expanse. There is also an equally expansive underground network.
Yeah.
That I don't have a name for, and might be the setting for the first season of Campaign 2.
We'll brainstorm it.
Yeah. Anyone have thoughts on the name of a Underdark, very large Underdark area?
Aimon Town.
God damn it.
Amonsburg.
Zimbabwe.
God.
No,
The
I don't
Deeps?
have any ideas.
There is a different thing called that, actually. Weirdly enough.
The
that is not
Snatch?
that.
Atlantis.
The Snatch.
The Upper Dark.
Void.
The like, for example, the area between the southern, the Dwarven city that was by Koi. Well, not really by Koi, but like in that mountains. And the other one is called the Black Mile. It's more than a mile, but like that's what that's called.
Twilantia.
We'll workshop it. We'll
And cut.
Yeah.
Can't tell. Jack figures the rest of the names out. But yeah,
Yeah.
my father's from the original place where almost all of the full-blooded drow make their home.
I assume he left to have you? Can't
Yes,
imagine
yeah.
their people were happy about that.
No, he, much like you, I think, disagreed with their beliefs and met my mother, and she is obviously not an elf. And that seems like it's a common thread to perhaps be frowned upon. And so he left, and they had me out in the Anarchic Expanse. And through a long series of things, found my way here.
Don't suppose there's any chance of having a conversation with him?
No, he and my mother have both passed.
Oh, my apologies.
It's okay.
That's
It was a
never
long time
easy.
ago. Long time ago. But as I look outside, I'm trying to very much not deceive him, but come off as casual as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, looks like it's going to be a bit of a storm tonight, probably. I've been hearing around town, I obviously wasn't around when this happened, but I heard there was something called the Night of Storms here.
Yes. Yep.
I assume you remember such an event. Can you explain it a bit to me? I've heard bits and pieces, and it's even come up in a bit of my studies, but
Yes, it
Seems like the right night to discuss such a thing.
was a horrible time. We still haven't fully recovered the city that is. One of my biggest regrets is not being better prepared for something like that. You prepare for so many magical issues, and then Mother Nature itself causes a problem that big. It leads to problems everywhere. We were only able to really fortify Ward 6. Only really able to fortify Ward 6. I know some of the rest of the city still holds a grudge over that. I mean, I'm an elf. I know how long memories can be and how long grudges can hold.
Yes.
But many people died. And it was... I've never quite seen a storm like that. And the issue with something like that when you're so busy worrying about saving lives is you don't really have a lot of time to stop and study it, so to speak, on why it happened.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer that it was not fully natural to some degree. I'm not sure, though.
Magical, you mean? If it's not natural or
Yeah,
created as opposed to happenstance?
I don't know whether
Did it-
there was any intention behind it, but whether it is a byproduct of many things coalescing, so to speak. I do not believe it was an intentional attack by any one or thing, but it was definitely no normal storm, if that makes sense.
Based on just sort of the basic history I know of this city and word that I've heard in the assembly, does anything strike me as like shady man in power type vibes about Irdel at all?
No, he's actually like kind of the opposite of Rule by an Iron Fist. He's, if anything, there have been issues in the past with him like not being more restrictive on what they do. Like he never really wanted to restrict their, like most of the restrictions on magic are around enchantment magic. He was never really a fan of that, but most of the people like kind of understand that.
It's the most dangerous kind of magic there is.
It's
really.
the most dangerous kind of magic in like untrained hands. So you have to be very careful with who you teach it to. He's very much a like trial by fire guy. Like if someone fucks up and like fucks up their memory or something, like they shouldn't have fucked up and done that or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything you know about, he's a very charismatic individual and quite capable person. Word on the street is he's a
Which is kind of rare for an elf as far as like charismatic.
word on the
goes.
street is he's a sorcerer to some degree.
Okay.
And he's quite competent. Like it was his whole idea to outlaw necromancy simply because he's aware that like explaining that it's not a problem is so much more of a headache than just doing it and saying that they don't, stuff like that. So bad guy, definitely not. Has his flaws for sure, but doesn't seem like the kind of dude who is like anything you would say, or even like really lean towards evil to any degree.
Okay. I think like some of the like last thing I would say is just his aim is trying to like look as casual as he can, kind of nervous in front of this rather intimidating or at least powerful character.
Yeah.
Just kind of looks out the window and would say, where I'm from, in various places I've traveled, magic isn't always as accepted as it is here. I'm sure you're aware of that. Have you ran into any problems with, say, the Magin? I mean, it seems like a man of your stature, in my vast travels, it seems like they would be against not only everything you do, but you as you exist. If you are, in fact, not to put any truth to rumors, but if you are, in fact, a sorcerer.
Not to put words in your mouth, but I assume by asking that question, you know at least some of what the Magin operates as and does. There is no coincidence as to why I came here to do what I did. It is quite literally as far away as I could get from them. I figured if I was on the other side of the planet, the odds of them interfering would be quite low, and they have been. I have not heard or seen of any events. I am not so naive as to believe that the Magin have never been within Wakuzana's walls, but we have never had an outward problem of it, at the very least. If that answers your question.
Yeah, I was just curious. Well, again, thank you for the tea. Thank
Yes,
you for making me feel welcome here. I'd love to talk more sometime.
If I don't have anything going on, you always feel free to stop by.
Thank you. I would head back out the portal door and
Yep.
try to catch up. I figured working here, I'd know where the infirmary is.
Yeah.
So I'll just make my way and try to catch up with
Yeah.
You gotta
Peter.
step over the vomit.
It's cleaned up by now.
I just cover it with my hat. Leave it.
Actually, there's a bunch of unseen vomit from the servant.
If I see vomit, I vote. Ooh.
The servants vomited. Are you picking up those books at all?
Actually, if...
The library is like literally right as you leave.
Oh, then yeah, I would have.
Okay, well,
Do they make him have a library card with the picture?
yeah. You
It's just the
technically
top of his
can't
head.
get books because you're not a member.
Oh, so I would have to give the list to him.
Yeah, Aimon
I
can
could
get books.
have said to you as we leave. You could leave it with the front desk before he leaves.
So it's just a stack of books waiting for Aimon.
Yeah.
Who are these for? These are for Peter? A rat folk?
Oh, yeah, you're
Stop by?
talking to...
Yeah. The receptionist or whoever.
Yeah. He said to leave them for you.
Okay. That's unexpected. Okay. I just take off the stack and carry it with me. And
Why is there a
can get
Curious
him checked
George
out.
book?
Yeah. You guys go to Arcane College. It is about a 25-30 minute walk southwest of the Great Assembly Hall. Tall green hedge surrounds the entire campus grounds. There is a sprawling courtyard filled with all sorts of flora and benches and tables for students to study and socialize at. Altogether, there are around 20 buildings on campus, forming two circles around the centralized courtyard. Student housing takes up most of the surrounding city blocks. Like I said, near the campus grounds, what you guys are looking for, as has been stated, is the infirmary, which is easy enough to find with all of the signage and directions around the campus. It's the smallest building on the inner circle of buildings closest to the courtyard on campus. It's only 1 story tall. It's a lot longer than it is wide. Made of red brick, there's a metal sign marking it as the infirmary above it. And as you enter, there is a middle-aged human, short black hair, fitted blue robe and shawl, silver-rimmed glasses. She sits upright at a desk, poring over some sort of book. She has a belt with a thick leather book on the side of it, and several vials filled with strange-looking fluids affixed to it. You would recognize some of them as alchemical elixirs, Peter. And past her are 2 rows of 10 beds on each side, kind of staggered, and only all of them are surrounded by curtains you could pull, but only one of them is drawn. And on the back of that wall, there is another door that leads back further.
Before we get into the infirmary, I'm just like looking around the campus, kind of little bit of recognition there, and I just sort of turn to Peter and say, I think I came here very, very drunk one time when I was a young guard. I don't remember much. Did I pass out in that fountain?
I thought you didn't remember much as a guard. Or was it when you died?
It was when I died.
Oh.
Yeah, you have like very fleeting memories.
I mean, granted, I also don't remember much from that time period either for
that's
different
fair.
reasons, but anyway.
I don't know. Whenever I got drunk enough and passed out, I was carried back by servants.
Well, I didn't have that.
I was also like 3.
Also, my parents are half my size. They couldn't really lift me up, even if they wanted to. Anyway, in we go.
But yeah, you go in.
Same scene.
Assumably, this is Yoshiko from the description you got in being the person that runs the infirmary.
Yoshiko?
She looks up. Yes. Can I help you two gentlemen?
Yes, we were sent over by
Irdel.
Irdel. Damn it. I just turned to that page.
Irdel.
We were sent here by Irdel.
About
Yes.
Trevon.
Can we take a look at him?
Yes, absolutely. She
Perfect.
stands up,
Is he still in the infirmary?
walks back. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you guys literally just left to come here.
Well, magical. It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are the ones that are to tell her to move it.
Oh, I know we have the authority to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you are running the
Yeah.
case, essentially. Whatever you
I
say
have
goes.
diplomatic immunity.
God damn it.
Actually, I might have diplomatic immunity.
But yeah,
You're going to cause an international accident.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit about the country.
she walks back, undraws the curtain. It's a young human man. You see probably early 20s, unconscious. Looks in a very similar state as you have seen the dwarf, almost suspended animation.
I'm assuming I don't have to do much of a check to figure out it's the exact same thing.
100%. You do not need to roll anything. This is the same circumstance that the other one was in.
Do you want to do a look over on them if there's anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah, sure. I'll do a look over
As he's doing that, I would turn towards the
medicine
nurse.
check.
And I'd say, do you have...
Sorry, depends on what you're looking for specifically. What are you looking for? Like magical effects, just a general checkup?
I would say... I'm assuming this guy would be in the same boat as the other one, so I'm looking for anything out of the ordinary. So, like, yeah,
let's just do perception then. Let's just do perception.
I can't do my...
Crafter's appraisal?
Yeah.
No.
How is this man
He
built?
is not a magical item.
Oh, he is to the vampire.
I guess, yeah. No.
Studying
So, yes?
God's
No,
handiwork.
But
+4 circumstance bonus?
no.
3?
Nope.
Okay.
Just perception.
Not 20.
All that bitching and bargaining.
So 24.
Good news, nat 20. Bad news, nothing out of the ordinary. Exactly as the dwarf is, other than that there are bite marks on his neck.
He's a little on the short side.
For the listening audience, Aaron's face just visibly dropped after hearing
Which,
that.
if you don't remember, the dwarf did not have any bite marks and actually was specifically told to protect it as like a vessel of sorts, the vampire spawns were. So that strikes you as a little odd, I guess, of like, if this dude's supposed to be a vessel, why was he fed on by a vampire? Presumably, it would have to have been a spawn because anyone capable of becoming a Vetalarana wouldn't feed like this.
Or it's not under the vampire that bit him is not the one controlled by the Vetalarana.
Correct. Yeah, that is also the case. But yeah, that's what you gained. But you were talking to Yoshiko.
Do you have a more secure room for any more extreme cases?
We have a straitjacket, yes.
But not the room. Somewhere that this patient
We
could
have
be.
a storage room.
That'll work.
This patient is docile right now, but there is a distinct possibility that they could turn violent in the way that most people would not be able to handle ostensibly. Straitjacket would be a good idea.
Should probably put him in now.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, could you assist me with moving him back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can just get the straitjacket on him. There's like a back storage room. It's not huge. It's probably like a 10-foot square room. There's that back door leads into a hallway that presumably has like 2 bedrooms. Then another end of the hallway door leads into this like storage room. It's mostly just medical supplies. But she, whatever the setup you want to put him back there.
Do you want to...
Yeah, I was going to. Do you have guards here?
Not really. I mean, all of the faculty are quite capable. That's mainly who we rely on for those sorts of things.
I'm going to secure him to the ground or wall. Would it be easier?
Should someone be watching him 24/7?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a little girl that lives here. Should she be staying somewhere else for the time being?
Yes.
Well, I mean, if I secure him here, they won't be able to actually move.
For safekeeping, I would suggest keeping anyone that could be...
Should we put him somewhere else that isn't just my storage room?
I feel like this should be fine for now until...
Something else
Well, maybe
is
don't
arranged.
glue him then.
Well, I mean, how much do you like that back wall? Is it made out of stone or wood?
It's brick. It's a brick home.
You can cut that out.
I would say,
Like
can
glue
you
him to a
can you
bed.
make how quickly can you make arrangements to have him relocated to somewhere secure?
Do you have the glue out anywhere?
I was going to do quick alchemy.
So you don't have it? Okay. How exactly are you planning to put him? You say you are putting him on a wall?
Yeah, I was going to use...
Like it's hazing.
it's... Oh, what's the exact name of this fucking thing?
Gorilla glue.
It's not Gorilla Glue. It's even better than Gorilla Glue.
Banana bread.
It is... Yes, it's banana bread. God, I have too many. Sovereign Glue. I'm going to secure him with Sovereign Glue.
Oh, okay. I have universal solvent.
Oh, well, that works. Can I get that recipe from you? I have Sovereign Glue. I don't have universal solvent.
Yeah.
Kind of need
Why?
that.
Yeah. She like looks at you like that seems
A lot
not
of my
like the best.
a lot
idea.
of my issues, I never had to use the solvent.
There's so many people taped to walls around town.
So I'm just going to secure him to the wall here.
She would just give you the recipe.
The
Yeah,
sticky
She pulls
bandit.
out her formula book and she gives you
was
the
like,
universal-
copy it real
Local
quick.
rumor.
And then I will glue him sitting down with his back against the wall. I'm just going to
Okay.
glue his back to the wall.
If he talks at all, if he begs to be released, do not do so until you have been notified by preferably Irdel himself or one of us.
Understood.
While he's here, he should be fine. Like, doesn't need to eat, doesn't need to do anything like that.
Yeah, he won't need...
I've noticed he requires nothing. I don't even have to change a bedpan. It's
in
quite
his
odd.
current state, all of his needs are taken care of. So he, outside of just general safekeeping, he doesn't need much monitoring.
Okay. Well, do you need anything else from me?
So you guys take care of anything, like any threat that comes here. That's you guys' thing.
Yeah, the faculty?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do they all know how to make alchemy items?
No. We all have a very wide range of expertise.
Do you know the bottled sunlight bomb?
Yes.
Okay, I would prep a couple of those.
Or we're dealing with undead?
Undead,
Correct.
Yes.
If you have anyone with expertise in your faculty, I would recommend them be the ones that oversee them.
We do. I will let them know.
Perfect. It's about as secure as we can get him for the time being.
Okay.
I got sovereign glue a lot of this shit.
So you guys are here for this. Are you here to look into the missing teacher and student as well, or just this?
I was not aware of this, but I will gladly take that information down to look into further.
Okay. Well, we just have a student and teacher that have not been seen in a while.
How many?
Just one
Days?
of each.
Well, how many days?
Now I think about it, about when Trevon came in. It's our enchantment specialist. Her name's Akita Shizuki.
Description on the missing parties?
She was always pretty well dressed. Human woman. I don't really remember how old she was. She always kept her head shaved. The missing student, I'm not positive on him. I'm still not quite sure. He just hasn't shown up to my classes in a while.
What race is he?
The
student.
He's a human,
okay.
I believe.
Shit, we
he's got
have
long
him in a
dark hair. I think he was in arcane studies, emphasis on necromancy. I'm not quite sure.
Wait, long hair. Is she describing that one dude?
What one, dude?
The gambling.
No.
Okay.
That reminds me. How long has the patient been in the state? When were they brought in?
5-ish days ago.
And you haven't had any other similar cases?
Other than Akita not showing up to teacher classes and none of Okura's, that's a student, Okura Koji's.
What was Akita's specialty?
Enchantment magic.
So
Magic of the mind. I don't know how much you two know about magic, but yeah.
Hmm.
Pretty dangerous stuff. She's quite capable.
clearly. Okay. Thank you for this information. I will definitely look into the 2 missing parties as well.
Aimon, you're getting there around this time. And you see
My stack of books.
You see a young human child, just under 4 feet tall. You recognize this as Shinta, headed towards the infirmary. She's covered in dirt, and she's carrying this big, shiny carapace beetle, like happily walking along. And she sees you, and she goes, "Oh,
Where might you be off to?
I'm gonna show Yoshiko my beetle."
That is a cool beetle.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you find it?
She points to a tree.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
it's great to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
How have you been? Are you supposed
So
to be in class
bored.
right now?
No.
Aimon does the dad tilt that Renastiere does so often with his head. Are you sure you're not supposed to be in class right now?
Yeah, they let us out early because it's supposed to storm.
I don't think, I doubt it.
Are you gonna tell Yoshiko?
I mean, she's going to know you're supposed to be in class too.
I hadn't thought about that.
So go show her your beetle. But then if you could let her walk you back to class, that would be
New idea.
okay.
What if we both don't go to Yoshiko and don't go to class?
Where would you go?
Would we be coming out at this point?
Not yet.
Okay.
Anywhere you want to go. We can go anywhere.
I don't think we should go anywhere.
Okay.
I know classes are boring. It's hard.
It's not
well,
hard.
it's
the
hard to be in
opposite.
classes where you don't feel challenged.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that.
Okay.
But doesn't mean you shouldn't go. Right? The other kids will probably miss you, right?
No.
Don't get along with the other students?
No. They're all rich pricks. Don't tell Yoshiko I said that.
I mean, rich pricks are very real. I
The-
understand on that.
The beetle's just like, let me down.
Let me be free. But yeah, you would
Do
see
you remember
them.
my friends? As I nod towards the door, I guess they come out.
Yeah, you guys.
On cue.
Yeah.
It is
I guess they come out.
Yeah, she runs up to both of you and she goes, "Oh, hey, hello, look." And she shows you, she holds up the beetle. It's pretty big. It's about the size of her hand. I mean, she's a child, but it's a pretty big beetle.
Now, how did you manage to capture that? And I squat down in a fatherly way.
She pulls out her wand and like pulls the gravity magic you saw already. As Yoshiko, she almost like looks past you guys and like quickly puts the wand away and sets the beetle down and stands like rigid. As Yoshiko walks up and she says, "Shinta, class isn't supposed to be over until 5. And she says, "Yeah, Aimon said we could come." And she points to you as you walk up. And she turns, she doesn't even look at you. And she says, "We both know that is not the case. Why don't you come inside and get cleaned up?" She says.
Aimon's like, "Phew."
I just give like the little ruffle on the head and
Yeah.
like,
You
keep
rat
up
me
your
out
studies.
again, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're
know
very
What they
talented.
say about snitches.
Be ashamed to waste your talent.
It would.
In her head, she's like, see, even he doesn't want me to go to class.
You just confirmed.
Come
her
on, let's
premises.
get out of here and catch
But yeah,
more beetles.
She goes in, and you hear her start to explain, like, "Okay, I'm going to keep the storage room locked. You are not allowed to go in and mess with the dude in the straitjacket in there."
She covers him in beetles.
Look, Mr.
She rides away on a horse with him on the back.
But yeah, are you guys headed back now? Are you just going to fill Aimon in on everything?
One outside teacher. One question. So with our looking over of the bodies, is it is it a pretty safe assumption that it was definitely by a vampire and couldn't be like enchantment magic made to look like a vampire did it?
You're specifically talking about the comatose state?
Yes.
No, you are as sure as the lack of living blood in your veins that this is the work of a Vetalarana.
Okay. I just
There is not any really sort of magic that, especially because you saw one get possessed like it was. Yeah, you are.
I just
quite
was
confident.
clarifying if there wasn't a possibility the teacher was like involved in a way.
Mm-mm.
You said there's a teacher with a bald head?
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of mentioned it. She does mention the description of the
Yeah,
lady.
I gathered that much.
Yep.
But yeah, it is very likely that this is the one was involved with the dwarf
The
situation.
one that Diego saw. Can I try to recall knowledge? Have I heard anything about this professor through my time at the Arcane Assembly with the
yeah.
enchantment magic being kind of a hot topic and
Why
such?
don't you roll society with a +4 circumstance? Because this is kind of your Arcane Assembly, Arcane College is kind of your place.
That would be a 30.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I mean, what you would know is she's obviously incredibly capable of enchantment magic. She's kind of the only one that's the case. If you want to go into learning enchantment magic of any kind, or like if there's any thing that requires enchantment magic, she's even been sometimes requested by the Kari for like her expertise on mind altering and like any sort of stuff like that. She's pretty well, as far as like a professor goes, so to speak, she's pretty well known throughout the city because she's kind of like the city's de facto leader and most knowledgeable about that stuff. Maybe only second to Irdel, even if that is the case. You don't really know what his general knowledge is on that kind of stuff. Generally, you wouldn't get any stuff pretty well liked by everybody. She can be a bit of a hard ass sometimes, but that's just because she takes enchantment magic, as anyone who's an expert in it and knows enough about it, very seriously, and is like not okay with anyone messing around or messing around with it in ways that you would not want to.
If Professor or teacher, whatever her
In terms of
the
her
title would be.
not
Professor,
showing
teacher,
up,
yes.
she would like, from what
Yeah.
you understand, that would never happen unless
Yes.
it was
She'd have a
against
reason.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
What was the vision again that Diego told us about with her in it? Exactly.
It's just her
no.
face, right?
Yeah, he saw her face, but the vampire spawn told you about her. They woke up to
and
her.
What did they? Oh, they woke up with her. Thing.
Yeah, they wanted to go. She was like, "You have to go to this place." They resisted a little bit. They felt prickles in their mind. Most of you assumed it was enchantment magic. I think someone identified it was probably enchantment magic of some kind. And then they came here, but they did not. She was not undead in any way.
If it is Akita, as I kind of say that in a hushed tone as we're walking away, this is a world of trouble.
So I just to clarify, like it was my like magical divination that like if I saw her, I would be able to recognize her.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, she's missing is the problem.
But
But
saying,
I've heard of her, and she is
If you don't remember,
by far
exactly,
the most capable enchantment magic user in the city.
he has an ability that lets him like feel and see a strong emotion tied to something and who is feeling it. He did that with the necklace that had the dwarf in it and saw her.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you guys probably know this, but enchantment magic is by far the best way to get exactly what you want out of anybody you want and having it be very difficult to trace back to you.
As a vampire expert, it does strike you as a Vetalarana might prioritize getting someone like that under their wing, so to speak, like under their control, whether willingly or not, because they're very mentally focused to begin with. Whether it's to like utilize her or to like take her out, because she would probably be a pretty good adversary for it or whatever. You can't really know, but it's no confirmation that that's the case. But
I would relay that.
Yeah. If you find yourself talking to Irdel again, maybe
I was
bring it
going
up.
to ask as well, is if you were, obviously we do not have time at the moment, but if one of us does end up talking to Irdel, we do have another student missing as well, a human with very long hair. Can't give the general description. If we can somehow figure out how that person fits into it, could very well just be another vessel that the vampire has planted around the city. But if that student was specializing in something in particular, maybe the vampire took notice of them as well.
yeah, it is worth notice. He did have a focus in necromancy. Not that like points anything, but he was an arcane caster, presumably with a focus on necromancy.
Necromancers aren't bad people.
And as we're walking back, I was going to get my head on a swivel, always looking around us now that it's getting darker.
Yep.
Storm's
and I'm going to
coming in.
hand you those 2 elixirs.
I'm going to hand you these books.
Oh, yeah.
Peter?
Thank you.
What's the interest?
Not for me. These are going to Umbra.
Umbra, interesting.
Yeah. I assume everyone's pretty on alert on their way back to some degree. Yeah. Why don't all of you? JK, I'll roll secretly.
Not
If
so
it
secret
starts
anymore.
raining, just remember my eyes are special eyes.
Okay. As you guys head back, you are on the lift heading up to Ward 7, and Diego, we go back to you.
oh, I thought I was there.
Oh, no.
No.
Like what happened?
Diego runs up. He
And
says,
Diego's dead.
Well, shit.
Wielding a rapier, talking very different.
So you have.
My name is Diego.
I will come up with it for you because you probably won't get the chance to do it before next session. But you will basically have come up with a ritual that you could attempt to draw out Ricardo in the time you rolled high enough. I will give you the ritual.
I was just smelling the cape for 3 hours.
do you mind?
When you do that, it should just be us 2 sitting there when you pull them out.
It's about 30 minutes to dusk. By now, it's pretty clouded over. It hasn't started raining yet, but like far off over the sea, you can see like lightning in the clouds and such.
One thing, real quick, I would say on the way up, if we get caught in a storm across town, should somebody be back with Umbra? I mean, Sanctuary's been attacked once. And we were
Umbra
lucky
is
to be
actually
there.
very capable on his own.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any I'm not about his survival, but also everybody else.
He's told to listen to Kier.
Okay. Does Kier know he exists?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we sure?
They would have interacted.
How?
I think so.
You could have just had him. You could have just introduced him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. In
They
my head, I was
usually in
like,
our basement,
there's been a
yeah.
rat hidden in the basement.
Realistically,
and Kier
it has
never
never been
done
stated
that.
they have, but yeah.
Honestly,
they can.
I'd probably have to tell him so he's not like,
There's a rat in the basement.
Yeah.
And it's not the other one.
Yeah, for sure.
But just for the sake of, it was attacked literally yesterday, and
Yeah.
we were lucky.
because of the smell of certain blood. So I don't know that the same event will happen for the same causation.
For the record, you clarified it was just because there was healthy people there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Healthier people.
Well,
Yeah, healthier people.
Umbra has blood. Just a thought.
that we know of.
Yeah.
Actually-
I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Pretty sure we all literally saw the blood.
Very red motor oil.
But yeah.
He does rev up in the morning.
Anything else you guys talk about where you're going up the...
That was just to say it. If we get caught in a storm, I don't know. Not ideal.
When his nuke goes off, we'll know something happened.
Diego, you're in the main area. You're just finishing up on that. And Kite walks in talking to someone, and you see Naito Tao arriving. If you guys don't remember, he is a young human man. By young, like, I think mid-20s. Bald head, broad shoulders, thick goatee and mustache. Very well groomed, very well kept. He has a hooded cloak on, a black hooded cloak, and a silken kimono. And he is standing there.
Is he alone?
Walks in with him. Yes, he is alone.
Came alone.
There were no guards with him.
Fool.
Get the sovereign glue.
But yeah,
Already
My eyes roll into the back of my head. You fool! I am Ricardo. now."
I like your kimono.
but yeah, he comes in. He sees you.
Well, hello
nods to
there.
you. God damn it.
Hello there.
But yeah, he says, "Hello, are you?"
I am Diego Roberts.
He goes up. He shakes your hand.
I'm bow.
Oh, okay. He
Yeah.
gives you a bow back.
Mm-hmm.
Kite says you are a friend of Renastiere.
Yes. Quite. Well, yes. Interesting one. That Renastiere.
Yes,
What is your interest in my good friend?
he is undead, and I am curious as to how he is undead and retains his sense of good.
Interesting.
Kite kind of leads you into one of the side rooms. You can go in with him if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it's next to the front, so there's like a big window facing like the fucking courtyard and then like the street, and it's just like a sitting room. Servant brings in tea and such, pretty good tea, and he's sitting there with you. He says, "So what do you do for a living?"
Well, I'm not undead. Just to clear that up.
I noticed.
Mm. Would you have been able to tell?
Yes.
What is it? Is it your eyes? Do you have special eyes?
I can smell it on you,
Hmm.
or it not on you.
Gotcha.
He's lying, for sure. But he says it kind of jokingly, like you are aware it's not like he's like fully trying to see
I
you.
go on with I act like I fully believe it.
Okay.
It's interesting. You must tell me. Is that some kind of heritage thing?
So, okay, clarify. My apologies. There was a bit of sarcasm.
Oh,
I do not smell it.
yes. Yeah, of course. I was playing along the whole time.
As you have this back and forth,
I made a mistake leaving him there.
as you have this back and forth, Sir Diego, Kite is kind of on the edge,
I've
right?
been knighted.
Kite is kind of on the edge of the hills, so there's still a little bit of commerce. Across the street from him is in another manor. It's like some shopping buildings, one of which you swear you see for an instant the glint of something reflecting. Probably your best guess, a spyglass or something, and the way it glints would imply they are looking into this room.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that?
I would just like start pouring myself some tea or something. I would be like, do you have any of your associates looking at us right now?
No, I specifically came by myself so that Renastiere's condition would not be exposed in any way.
And you
Or
wouldn't be
know that
lying
was
to me, would you?
No, but you also get the sense he's not. He says, there's a little bit of worry in his voice of like, why?
Well, don't look. But someone is watching us.
How far? Pretty far?
I-
It's like across the street, so it's probably like somewhere between 100 and 150 feet. Probably more around 150, 200 feet away.
150, 200 feet
Okay.
across the street.
Don't take it that's one of your friends.
No, it may be the rat, but I don't think so.
Okay.
He would be the most likely, though.
Why doesn't everyone roll for initiative?
Diego, you got this, man.
As you guys turn the corner,
you roll so well.
As you guys turned the corner, you were like walking down the street that Kite's thing is on. You're still a couple blocks away. The rest of you. Something no one is aware of goes first.
Oh no. Right before I get information.
Oh, no.
His head just disappears.
A little red dot starts like,
Well, there is an assassin in town.
Naito's not the head of the family, is he?
No, he's the face of the family.
He's the acting head, I guess.
No, he's not
He's the
the
face.
acting head,
That
no.
wouldn't get an assassin any clout or anything.
Yeah, but if he
might.
wipes out a whole family, maybe.
You guys have this back and forth. A arrow comes straight, crashes through the window, but it's shot so quickly that it doesn't even really break it. I mean, it breaks a spot where it goes through, and it goes straight through his neck. It gets stuck in his neck. And he,
Naito's neck?
yeah, his eyes roll back, and he falls to the side of his couch, like on his side on the couch. And just as he falls, you see a bit of what looks like poison drop from the arrow, and you are avidly aware that there's also poison in his body. He drops, and he's dying. It was a crit, actually, so he's dying too.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Within minutes of being at Kite's Manor, Naito Tao is at death's door. Can the party save him? Will they catch his assailant? Who is the assailant? The assassin or someone much worse? All of this and more. Next time on Dying 5. If you enjoyed today's episode, consider leaving us a review on whatever platform you listen on. We'd love to hear your feedback. And if anyone in your life just can't get enough tabletop RPG action, send them our way. If tabletops have taught me anything, it's that good stories become great ones when you have some folks to share them with. And as always, thanks for listening.